For every loved finance influencer, there's one who is hated by everyone, starting with one of the biggest grifters out there, Graham Stephan, who is known for ruining lives with his reckless money advice and sponsoring products that leave you broke.
Guys, it's Graham here. So today I'm going to be telling you guys how to turn $1 into $10. And it's not some stupid bullshit sales pitch. I'm going to make a video of how I live for free by house hacking and investing in real estate. Story and my background about how I became a millionaire by the age of 26.
Now, when a millionaire real estate agent advises you on making money, you naturally take it, and that's exactly what happened when Graham urged people to invest in FTX, except that after a short while, it went bankrupt and people were unable to withdraw their funds.
Graham Stephan literally was promoting FTX. These jerks are literally giving illegal financial advice with no credentials while claiming it isn't.
But grifters gotta grift. So this time, Graham pushed people to invest in Yotta Bank, where a lot of people took his advice seriously. But then, out of nowhere, Yotta Bank got froze.
Hey, my name's Daniel. My wife and our family has 18,000 in Yotta that we can't get out.
Over $60,000 frozen up in Yotta.
$15,440.06 frozen in Yotta.
$7,270.60 frozen.
Now, despite all of this, Graham doesn't stop making the same videos with clickbait titles and fake predictions to get more views, more sponsorships, and more money.
He is saying the housing crash from 2020, and it never happened. Stop watching this guy. Gotta be the 50th time this guy's been saying crashing. Go back and look at the thumbnails. These videos should start with, I know I've been completely wrong with my predictions.
But if Graham is hated for being a spammy salesman, Richard Kaufman is loved for being the opposite. He runs a YouTube channel called the Plain Bagel, where people literally swear by his financial advice, mainly because he's a chartered financial analyst, which means he knows his stuff, and a certified financial planner. So you know he's legit. And because of this, Richard's advice on money is always backed up by solid academic references. The guy's got integrity. He never accepts any shady sponsorships or found guilty of any unethical behavior.
That they were paid, with some disclosures being incomplete.
Furthermore, this video may or may not have been sponsored.
And others never mentioning in the video itself that they were paid to talk about the stock, only including a disclaimer in their description.
Truly the most unproblematic finance YouTuber. Love that boring guy. No sugarcoating, just a pure, plain bagel reality.
That's because Richard bluntly calls out passive income scams and fake influencers without worrying about the potential backlash or damage to his views.
Passive income doesn't exist. Not really anyway. One report by Dutch regulator AFM found that of 150 influencers studied, none of them were licensed by the AFM to provide investment recommendations, and many did not complete a relevant finance degree or have any work experience in the finance sector.
Freaking awesome we get Richard to guide us through a CFA report. Not many people would be willing to do that for the internet.
So while Richard is loved for saving people from getting into Ponzi schemes, Caleb is hated for dragging them into financial nightmares. Caleb does financial audits on his YouTube channel, where he invites people to help them get out of financial struggles. Except that the only thing he does is exploit them while being super aggressive in front of the entire crowd.
Well, that's a bridge I'll cross when I get there. I'm not looking to own a home anytime.
Oh, you'll be living under that bridge because you won't qualify for rent. Oh, you did. This is crazy. Your behavior's out of control. Went through a bankruptcy and didn't change anything. It's a joke. What a joke. You're being a baby when it comes to that.
I don't think so. I'm not a baby.
He's created this vibe on his channel where he thinks it's entertaining to mock people and create this whole dramatic scene just to get increased attention.
This dude always gives me the ick. Exploitive content that's litter, just shaming people.
People will keep watching Caleb for the shaming content because nothing better than Caleb almost blowing a vein yelling at his guest. Caleb's advice boils down to find another job, don't spend anything on anything until the debt is paid off, unless you want to pay hundreds of dollars to buy my courses. And just FYI, he's not even a certified financial advisor to talk any sort of nonsense on finance.
How is he selling courses when his whole shtick is to get people to stop spending money frivolously?
But where Caleb is hated for roasting people and promoting his courses with 0 credentials, Felix is loved for inspiring people suffering from financial crisis. Ben co-hosts a podcast with Cameron Passmore called Rational Reminder, but what sets him apart is the way he approaches those discussions. Like, he'd bring on an impressive lineup of guests and focus on real, research-based discussions and topics that you've never heard of before.
Sticking to a disciplined strategy is going to be a lot more effective than trying to time the market, especially when you factor in costs and taxes.
Legit guy, taught me about factor investing and risks. His way of speaking is real entertaining too. Ben also wrote this paper called Finding and Funding a Good Life, where he aims at helping people make better choices, not just with their money, but their lives too. Felix is the man. Best evidence-based investor I have seen. Bogglehead approved. So, in a world full of lunatic influencers, where Ben is helping people with his authentic knowledge, Dave Ramsey seems to be crashing it all with his flashy gimmicks. In April 2023, Dave got sued for $150 million. It turns out he was promoting a company called Timeshare Exit Team on his show. The company initially promised to help people get out of timeshares, but ended up being a scam. But what makes this entire situation worse is the fact that Dave was found guilty of receiving $30 million in exchange for promoting this company. Now, this is the same guy who filed for bankruptcy in 1988, created a financial course, added some Bible verses for credibility, went full-on grifting, and now uses churches to sell his FPU course, as if it's the only gospel to let you catch the rich.
Yep, he's a fraud. He sold financial courses at churches and weekend retreats, and that's how he got himself out of debt.
And that's not all. Because another thing that Dave's been criticized for is giving pricey advice that's just not unrealistic and outdated, but can be found anywhere on the internet for free.
He's made millions of dollars telling people, sell assets, pay debt. 99 out of 100 times, he just confirms the other person's plan that they come in with without giving real advice.
Dave Ramsey is a scam artist. He preys on people with financial problems to buy his books and seminars to learn to create a budget and pay down debt. Even his method of paying debt is a scam, designed to cost more interest.
So, where Dave is hated for pinching every penny and claiming that he is doing God's work, the Money Guy Show is loved for helping people make sound financial decisions. Ryan Preston and Bo Hansen are a pair of financial advisors hosting the Money Guy Show on YouTube. Both of them are fiduciaries helping people with some great investment advice and a lot of guidelines to help them get to the place where they can live a life of abundance.
But nobody ever tells you what to invest in. And to somebody who's brand new to investing, all these terms can make it hard to begin your wealth building journey. But do not fear. The Money Guy is here.
One of the things I appreciate about the Money Guys is despite them selling a course, they still offer tons of free resources.
If you want to be somewhere you've never been before, you gotta be willing to do something you've never done before.
It is obvious that these guys are more focused on how to be successful rather than just showing you how to be rich, with more practical and less clickbaity style.
The Money Guy Show, no sponsors, solid financial advice, no stock picking crap, good stuff.
So, if the Money Guy Show is helping people fast track their financial freedom, Robert Kiyosaki seems to be sabotaging it in the worst way possible.
If you want to be rich, it took skills. Not a college education, but skills. And the number one skill, not number one, but one of the top skills, is how to use debt.
This guy here is on the ball for putting many poor people into a financial mess, all because of his advice that came from his book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
And the reason I am so rich is because I'm in debt. And my friend Dave Ramsey says, live debt free. Well, you're an idiot. I mean, he's my friend, but I say, Dave, I like debt.
Yeah, it's pretty slick. Convinces you that debt is okay, then charges tens of thousands for a course.
The guy's a hack. Market's gonna collapse next week. Buy gold, buy real estate, buy my books.
Except that he forgot to tell people that debt is a liability and can put you at risk, because it is not free. You have to pay interest, and there are other repayment obligations that can literally hurt your financial situation. And secondly, when you're in debt, you don't truly own anything. The bank holds the keys until you paid off the loan, unlike Robert, who knows how to work the system in his favor.
So all the money I make, if I buy something with debt, that's I'm $1.2 billion in debt, because if I go bust, the bank goes bust. Not my problem.
He's a con man. I read his book 30 years ago, and I'm sure all the personal stories were made up. He filed bankruptcy several years ago, and now is a right-wing clickbait shield.
It turns out Robert is a grifter giving toxic financial advice, and the only money he has ever made is through selling lies and 32 million copies of his book. In contrast to Patrick Boyle, who's one of the credible financial influencers helping people make smart financial decisions.
At number 3, rich people don't buy lottery tickets. Now that's not to say that they play it safe with their money though. Most of the people studied were business owners who put their own money on the table and took financial risks.
The content he makes on finance is ridiculously educational. It's fun to listen to, and it's super practical.
Patrick Boyle is really good at providing financial news. I really love the way he spills the tea on the latest scams and financial hype bubbles.
Now, would you believe if I say Patrick, who's a professor at King College in London and Queen Mary University of London, is accused of plagiarism?
Sounds like someone should quickly download all of his videos before they get deleted.
Damn,
It's weird, because Patrick usually just cites where he gets his info from.
exactly. Patrick does it, except for this one time where he forgot to add the due credit. But when he realized what actually happened, he owned up to it and updated the video description with proper attributions while making himself as one of the most loved financial influencers.